Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and we're here with your raw edits of the week 54. And I picked 25 of them this week. That's kind of like 10 more than I normally do because there were so many interesting and diverse and just really, really cool edits. I tried to pick things that did a lot of different, or that went a lot of different directions, because it's not the easiest file. I had a ton of trouble with it, but it was cool to see people taking it into Photoshop and doing all different types of edits. So let's look at this first one. We have an awesome split tone. This gives it a very old world style. I like what's going on up here in the clouds. I love the way that the mountain looks at the background, and they chose to really expose for the background here, develop and process for the background more so than the foreground. Also, remember, back in the day when we were shooting film, or a guy like Ansel Adams was doing film, he was doing a ton of post-processing. That was what his forte was. He would make 30, 40, 50, 60 different types of notes for dodging and burning and doing this and that, and then they'd make a negative from the final print that was perfect so that they could constantly make copies of it. It's kind of like hitting Control-S now. You're saving it as a file and then going and making more prints from it later. So I like this one. Next one. So we got an HDR look here. The background is, with the HDR, you kind of lose that massive amount of contrast thing going on, but the tree looks awesome, the background looks awesome, and we're going to move on. And of course, somebody had to do a Bob Ross thing. Really awesome. I love this. You know me, I got to put in a big tree. Yeah, everybody loved Bob Ross. I mean, at least I did. My favorite color of his was burnt sienna. But yeah, I like how they put the paint. It's just really cool. What a cool concept. Not much else needs to be said about it. I just thought it was a good homage to Bob Ross. Somebody then just focused in on the mountains. Really cool. Of course, you lose a little bit of, a lot of quality when you're cropping it this far, but even the D90 held up so well that this looks great. The detail in the clouds and the sky and the mountains is just incredible. I like this black and white edit. Very nice job. A little thicker HDR type image. The mountains are thick, the tree is thick. It's just really interesting to have the play on the nice bright tree and the nice background. HDR, it's funny, after seeing a lot of the HDR things, it doesn't seem like it was the way to go. It seemed like it would be interesting to see how they would work, but I still like some of the more realistic edits. But I wanted to pinpoint these or show these off because they are interesting as well. This is a really nice edit. Actually, they changed the clouds. I just noticed that. They changed the sky. They changed the way the clouds are in the background. The mountain looks great here. This is one of my favorite edits now that I'm looking at it. This is really cool, and especially with the different clouds in the background. Very nice job. Way to take the time to make this happen. I really like seeing this one. I thought this was cool too. Nice muted. As you see the different warmth here, they pulled out the warmth here. It has a more greenish tone. More of a greenish tone, and I really like it. It's soft and inviting, so nice job on that. This is a little bit on the warmer side. As you see, there's a lot of images that are very similar, so I try to not pick the same ones over and over, because there's a lot of people that do similar images. Now, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But I'm not going to pinpoint or showcase every single one of those just for time, but this is a nice one as well. Here's another very straightforward type edit. I really like the trees and the colors and the separation of the trees to the mountains. I like what's going on there, so really nice there as well. This is a very nice black and white. We got a nice thick black and white on the tree. We have a nice background there with I love the glacier. You got really nice tones here, constant tones running all the way across from extremely dark to extremely light, and yeah, I like that. Keep going. This was cool, a watercolor. Somebody totally threw it through a processor and it did this, and it's a cool watercolor, and this would be an awesome paint by numbers. I really would be interested to see some paint by numbers. That would be pretty cool. I used to paint by numbers. I don't ever think I followed the numbers. I would just make up my own thing there. I loved this because when you see the art coming out of this part of the world, they've got those stamps on there that every owner, I love the stories behind a lot of these older photos. People have stamps with their family name or crest on it, not crest but symbol, and every time a new owner takes control of the painting, they put that symbol on so you can see the lineage of who owned it. I love the history behind that stuff, and I thought this was a very, very good edit to go with that as well. Nice, interesting crop here as well. Did they do something to the mountains? Oh, I didn't even... No, did they? They did. It looks like they built off of this mountain a little bit, and I can see the same thing here as I see here. I didn't notice that before. But I like the edit. I like the crop. I like the edit because it's soft. It's glowy. You know, it's at a distance, so it shouldn't be very, very prevalent. But again, the shadows are nice. The white is nice. And the crop, nice crop. The only thing that throws me off a little bit is the same thing, textures being copied on the mountain. But nice job rebuilding it, moving the tree, and making it work. And then we've got, of course, the Lord of the Rings reference here. Extreme edit, over the top on that HDR type looking thing. But of course, with Gollum here, really cool. And then it's kind of like the same thing. Hey, look, it's Gollum. Ah, my precious, my precious. Yeah, and then cool. This is a very nice warm feel to it. I like it. Keep going. And then cool. Look, we got different colors going on here. They took out the greens and went with an orange look for the trees and the background. I just love this mountain. The mountains in the back are great. The trees right here are awesome as well. And we keep going. This is just a straightforward edit. I like it as a straightforward edit. Here's another. This doesn't take us back to the beginning, does it? Nope. Another split tone. I like the tone of the colors. I like that this gives me that 1800s feel from Lois and Clark. Was it Lois and Clark? Were they the ones that went and discovered and did all the drawings? Lewis and Clark, not Lois and Clark. That would be like Superman or something. This is cool. Like the colors. Well, colors, of course. I like the tone right here. This was a cool one as well. I love how it's focused in on the tree, it's focused in on the mountain, it's very high contrast. Like if you were in the darkroom in school, it would have been a 5.5, or if you were in the darkroom out of school, it would have been like a 5 filter, really contrasty. What a 5 filter meant was the black levels would be really black, the whites would be really white, and you didn't have a lot of gray tones prevalent. And that's what I like about this shot. This was interesting too. I just like how the sun, you know, there's just a focus put on the trees there. Overall, the edit's a little, it's very shiny. But I like the, you know, I like how it's focused right there with the light. I like the focused light. This is cool too. This gives me that 1920s feel as well. Old color. I love the old color photos that you see because it has that old world, just the old hues. This was cool too. This is a little extreme on the foreground, but the background looks really, really nice. Look how nice the mountains look and the colors. You get the blues, just extreme amount of colors in this. I like this as well. This is really good stuff. Just another nice black and white, another straight up color. Really good, focused right in on the mountains. This looks really solid, like they just took a picture of the mountains itself and there was nothing else in it. This is really, oh my God, and then there's people. There weren't people in all of these, were there? Are there people in all of these? I didn't notice if there were people in all these. Oh, that's crazy. I'm going to have to go back and look to see if there's... I really see people. And I think that takes us back to the beginning. Wait, I think they're playing with me. I don't think there's people in this. Hold on. Let me pause this. Come right back into Photoshop and see, or into Lightroom and see if there are people there. So I just pulled this image back up into Lightroom to see if there were people over here. It's kind of funny. It looked like this shadow right here was a person, but I guess that one person decided they should put in some people on the mountains, and I didn't even notice it. I mean, I saw it, and then I was like, oh my God, are they there? And then I guess the illusion was that it looks like there could be people there, but there's actually not. So that's it. Those are your raw edits of the week. Really awesome job. I love what you guys did. There's a great cross-section of work there, from cropped images to not cropped images to colors that go all the way through the scale, through awesome black and whites, and that's it. So great job on your raw edits, and we will see you next week for raw edit of the week 55. So that's it. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya!